Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel and Clara reporting from Dallas County. I'm here with, who am I here with?
I am Clara Avila, also reporting from Dallas County.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Okay, so, we're here, episode 2. We're going to determine whether or not this person is or may not be the butthole.
The butthole.
Right. So first, how was your day today?
It was pretty good. How was your day?
Terrible.
Okay.
So, we're going to talk about the first story, which I believe is from Relationship Advice.
Ooh.
Okay. So, I, 38 male, keep getting ghosted right after they visit my apartment. Including after a recent date with a 30 female, 30-year-old woman. Everything goes well up to that point. Is there anything I should do differently? Am I a chair fascist? What do you think?
A chair fascist? What? Wait, what? I'm so confused. So, the women... He's inviting women over to his apartment, and then they see his apartment, and then they ghost him? Is that what's happening here?
I think so. This is written really weirdly.
It's written really weirdly. That he doesn't give us any context. There's no, what does his apartment look like?
Okay, well, that's just the header.
Okay.
So this is the actual thing.
Okay.
So she came over to my apartment, right, and kept bugging me about where is the sofa or chair or a stool.
Oh.
I explained to her about how sitting on the floor is actually better.
Oh.
Then I relaxed into a nice resting squat on my Zafu meditation pillow and encouraged her to make herself comfortable. She ditches the date early and hasn't responded to my messages since. My friend, 40 male, he doesn't even know how old he is, from work says that it is because I'm a chair fascist, but I think that can't be it. If anything, being chair free is like a useful filter to reject those handful of people who really are crazy. What do you think?
I'm so sorry. Chair fascist.
Because I think he has something against chairs.
He has something against chairs, apparently. And clearly he's just not meeting the right women for him.
Yeah.
He seems like someone who is interested in alternative healing methods and such. It's a very particular person.
I think it's kind of funny how he's all like, what could it be? I don't know. What could it be? Is it maybe because of the fact that my apartment has no furniture?
Has no furniture?
And that I don't believe in sitting in chairs?
Surely that cannot be it. But my friend says so. What do you think?
What do you think, people of Reddit?
People of Reddit?
But I'm not going to go out and say this guy's a straight up butthole.
Probably not.
Unless he gave the girl a hard time and be like, what, you think you're too good for me? Type deal. Then I would probably think you're a butthole. But he didn't. We don't have that information. I think if he doesn't like chairs, then he doesn't like chairs and he thinks that sitting on the floor is better for him. Plus, like, have you seen, like, male apartments? They have, like, zero furniture.
Especially if they just got an apartment. Like, if they're new to apartment living.
It's usually just, like, a chair and a TV.
There's, like, a bean bag.
And a bean bag, something like that.
There's, like, a bean bag and the TV on the floor. There's, like, a cardboard pizza blanket or whatever. It's sad.
Yeah, moving boxes as, like, a coffee table.
Like a coffee table.
That's, yeah.
But this sounds like it's a purposeful, he doesn't have any furniture. Because he has a place to sit, which is his Zafu meditation pillow or whatever.
Yeah.
So clearly, he just doesn't want sitting furniture.
Yeah. I think my relationship advice is...
Yeah, date a yoga girl.
Date a yoga girl. Date a person who would be interested in the same things.
Yeah, find someone who is equally
anti-chair.
Exactly.
I don't think he's a chair fascist. I think it's a bit of a strong word.
I think that's a bit of a strong word. I think that he's just the kind of person who, when he comes home, he wants to rest how he wants to rest, which is on the floor.
Yeah, I think he just needs to find someone who is into like that alternative style, which there's plenty of people like that.
Who doesn't mind not having any chairs.
Yeah, I think that's
in the living space.
Yeah, I think that's
That would be the most solid advice.
That's my first solid advice. Just meet someone like that. In Japan, they don't believe in chairs, right? I mean, they sit on the floor mostly.
It's not that they don't believe in chairs. It's just that when they eat for like, in a lot of places in Asia, when they eat for meals and stuff, they sit on the floor. But they have like pillows and things to sit on usually.
Yeah. Do they usually? They don't have like they don't have bed frames either, right? They like sleep with
a lot of them have like bed rolls or what are they called? Something with a T, something mats.
Tamagotchi?
No.
I used to have those in the 90s.
No, not a Tamagotchi.
Okay.
No, but yeah, they have like mats that they bring out and they fold up.
A yoga rug?
Well, I assume they have a bit more cushion than a yoga rug.
Okay. So this is the first thing. First, I want to say not the butthole. You like what you like.
You like what you like, and you just keep meeting up with women who
like
chairs.
Thing. And also, probably like the first question out of your mouth should be, "What's your opinion on chairs? Yes or no?"
Yes or no? How are we feeling?
How are we feeling about chairs?
Are you
is that
like
something for or against?
I need chairs in my life, or are you comfortable with, I don't know, not having any?
Yes. Or maybe like something like that. Okay, so this is the first thing from one of the Reddit people. He said, if I, she's 41 and a woman, went on a date with you and I went back to your place and there was no furniture, I would never go on a date with you again because one, I would think you're creepy and going to murder me since it seems like you don't really live in the apartment. Because where is the furniture? Well, he didn't say he didn't have any furniture. He just said he didn't have chairs.
Yeah, he just didn't say that he didn't have chairs.
And he said he has like Zephu pillows that could act as a stand-in for chairs.
As a stand-in for chairs. I'm assuming like a little area with like a rug and like those pillows to sit on.
So, I think that's if he didn't have any furniture, yeah, that'd be freaky. But I think he.
I assume he has.
I think it does it by
furniture.
desire. Yeah. Two, if I got past the thought that you aren't gonna Ted Bundy me. Ted Bundy is a serial killer.
Yes. Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome. Then I still couldn't get over the fact that you don't care about others' comfort, and I would never picture myself in your current lifestyle, which is fair. Tip, find a girl that likes to hang out on the floor, is an adult first, and then ask her out on a date. For the love of woman, don't bamboozle our hopes and dreams of a nice, normal guided date by bringing us back to your empty, sad cave. That's a little bit judgmental.
Yeah.
Another one says, at first I thought you're trolling, but when I looked at your profile, you're not. You're just obsessed with not sitting on chairs. That's your prerogative. But it's weird to call someone crazy for not being obsessed with sitting on the floor. Ghosting is never cool, but accept that you're gonna be weird. People will have a reaction to it. Oh, that if you're going to be weird, people will have a reaction to it. Oh, that is true.
That is true.
But that's why you need to find someone who likes the same things.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also, don't be like, you don't like chairs? You like chairs?
You like chairs?
Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. And then another one is, I'm not trying to be mean, but I think you have a disordered relationship to health and self-improvement, quote unquote. Your post history comes across kind of manic hyperfixations on different niche health fads. And I imagine the chair thing is just a topic that demonstrates this aspect of your personality to women who are understandably put off by it. Plus, a couple of your responses come across as super condescending, which doesn't help when you're also being weird. Ultimately, getting a chair for guests isn't going to solve isn't going to solve the underlying issue. What I think is he meant to say to solve the underlying issue. Mm-hmm. But I suggest seeking help from a licensed therapist or psychologist to help figure out the intense energy is coming from. Okay, so now we have a little bit more information about the man behind the post. About OP.
About OP.
Yeah. So it seems to me that I think he might be... it goes. This is a bit of a topic of an overarching issue that he's going on.
It would seem so.
It seems that he's not just he just doesn't prefers not chairs. It does seem like he has, according to this person, has a little bit of an obsession with alternate healing
methods,
which I think. And also, if he's responding kind of condescending and defensively, then I would say, yeah, you're being kind of a butthole.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Clara?
I think that my original statement still stands.
You still think he's not a butthole?
I mean, like, I don't know how he's talking. I'm just going off based off of what the comment you read is. Like, if he's being condescending and things like that, then maybe he is a bit of a butthole. But in context of the post itself, I don't know. You know, maybe not. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. I think that it probably is like you could have a chair for your guests, but it's his apartment. You know, he decides what furniture goes in it.
Okay.
I don't know. I think my previous thing still stands, which is just, you know, date a yoga girl.
Okay.
And inform your date that you don't have chairs.
Yeah. So let's talk about this next one, which is AITA, or am I the butthole? For telling my friend's dad my mom returned everything he got me for store credit for herself.
Whoa.
What do you think?
That's a loaded sentence.
Okay.
What does that even mean? Continue.
Okay, so last year my mom married Mark, and we moved to a new state. We have 3-bedroom house. My mom and Mark have one room. Mark's daughter, Lily, who's 10, has her own room, and I, 13F, you probably shouldn't be on Reddit because you're 13, share with my brothers 16, 18, and 22.
Oh, dang.
Oh, a bit of a large family. Mark doesn't want my mom to work, but he also doesn't give her money for us because that's our dad's job. So I was kind of on my own to get anything I needed. Okay. So, okay, let me get this right straight. So,
yeah, let's rethink some things really quickly.
So Mark is stepdad.
Yes.
And she has a biological dad, but she's separated. And I think he's saying that he doesn't want her mom to work, and he doesn't want to give her any like money because that is their biological dad's father's job, I guess.
That doesn't make any sense.
And he has his own daughter, which is Lily, which I believe is the OP's stepsister, and
yes.
She has 3 biological brothers.
Yes.
Okay. So, a guy at my school noticed that I don't have a lunch most of the time, so he started bringing extra food for me. Then I started going to his house after school. They've been really nice to me. They take me out with them, and they got me a pair of shoes because mine were too small. Ooh, it looks like budding romance is coming.
Nathaniel.
They went all...
Could just be someone being nice.
Uh-huh. So they all went all out for me for Christmas.
Aww.
I got 2 pairs of boots, the other 2 pairs of shoes, 6 pairs of jeans and leggings, and like 20 shirts, 2 jackets, a raincoat, rain boots, umbrella, a new backpack, a water bottle, and even hair stuff and some makeup. They also got me glasses, but that really wasn't a Christmas present. Oh, wow, they gave her a whole new wardrobe.
Wow.
They gave her a whole new wardrobe, Clara.
That's wild. Very generous.
My mom took everything back for store credit, and she used it to get herself stuff. My friend's dad picked me up the day after Christmas to take me to camp. He signed me and my friend up for cooking camp during winter break, and I told him what happened. He called CPS. They came to camp to talk to me a couple days later. Then they came to the house, and no, I'm staying with my friend, and now I'm staying with my friend and his dad. He reordered everything. He got me. Plus, he had me go into Target and some other stores to get a couple things until everything gets here. But my mom is really mad that I told him, and she's saying I got her in a lot of trouble. So I wanted to know if I was wrong for telling him that she returned everything. Okay, and then this person has a following explanation on why they think they might be the butthole, and it was, I might be the butthole because my mom is saying I got her into a lot of trouble by telling my kid's dad, my friend's dad, she returned everything. I say straight up, not the butthole. You did the right thing. You did the right thing.
Definitely not the butthole, because she's a 13-year-old girl whose friends' parents have, you know, generously given her like a bunch of things that she needs that she didn't have already. Mm-hmm. And her mom selfishly took all of that stuff, you know, returned it so that she herself could buy things. And, you know, you're 13. What else are you going to do? You're close to this family that's bought you these things. He's literally signed you up. They've literally signed you up for a camp. And, you know, you're going and this just happened. What else are you going to do except for tell them what happened?
They're going to notice whether or not. And they're going to be like, where's the clothes? Eventually
you would notice and be like, hey, why aren't you wearing any of your new stuff? Mm-hmm. And then eventually she would have to be like, well, my mom sold all of it so that she could buy things.
I wonder what things she got.
Yeah.
So
I'd say it's just a 13-year-old girl who is just being a bit neglected by her parents.
Mm-hmm. And I can see, like, as a mom, that would be an attack on her duty as a parent. Mm-hmm. When she is like given all this stuff from a person who is probably from a family who's definitely more financially capable. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And she was like, I can't provide her these things, and these people are trying to buy my daughter, and I can't have that. Mm-hmm. But it's a whole different thing when you just straight up return it for store credit and then just buy stuff for yourself. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole nother thing. And you can't be upset that CPS was called on you because you did something very neglectful towards your preteen daughter.
Yeah.
And so now she's staying with her friend and her family, who probably give her a better life.
Probably.
And she did. Instead of just accepting the help, she got all butthurt and did something dumb. So the first one is, you are Nata. That means not the butthole.
Yes.
You're not wrong. Parents take care of their kids. It's their job and privilege to do. I'm so sorry, Op, which means OP.
Yes.
But your mom and stepdad are mistreating you and neglecting you. Your friend's family was able to see this, and I was glad they got CPS involved. So, okay, and then OP responded with, my mom's never been this mad at me before. I think I'm going to be here a long time. My friend's dad had me pick out a new paint and furniture for my room. And then another person responded, that's not because your mom is mad. That's because she was neglecting you and your care. I'm glad you have good people in your life. Nata. I mean, it's not the butthole.
Yeah.
But, so yeah.
You don't have to say it every time.
I think now she's kind of like the preteenness is kind of coming out in these responses. Mm-hmm. Her age is definitely showing in these responses where she's like, oh, my mom is mad at me. She's never been this mad at me before. That means that I did something wrong.
Yeah.
Which, in fact, she's probably just mad at herself for neglecting her and putting it out on her. And she'll realize as she gets older that this family probably did her a huge favor.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, what's probably happening is that her mom probably isn't even able to, like, take her back right now.
Because the CPS.
If CPS is involved, that means there's an investigation going on and a bunch of other things. But she's really lucky that she has people who are able to take care of her and she isn't put into the system.
Doesn't she have an adult brother, too?
Yeah, she does, I believe. It's an
Who's
18-year-old.
18 and
21.
22.
18 and 20 whatever year old.
18 and 22.
22, I thought it was
But
21.
they can't take care of her because they're still dependent.
They're still living in the house. They
Okay.
can't really do anything about it. Not that, I mean, we don't even know if they even want to. But, I don't know. I hope that either, because it's always difficult, families being split apart. I know that CPS doesn't want that to happen. Normally they'll try to keep the families together, but when it comes to something like this, either the mom has to realize that she is being neglectful of her daughter and, change how she's treating her, or she will stay with her friend's family. Maybe they'll adopt her.
Uh-huh. So, okay, another person says, Nata, let me say it again. None of this is your fault. Your mother had no right to take your things. They weren't hers. I'm sorry you're in this situation. You don't have great parents. You did not get her in trouble. Her poor decisions got her in trouble.
Yeah.
Did she not think that your friend's dad wouldn't notice that you were never wearing the stuff bought you? Even if you had not told him, he would have asked about it sooner or later.
Yep.
And where's your dad in all this? Does he keep in touch and ask about what you need? And then OP responds with, I think he's in jail.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
there's that. So, yeah, that's the whole story here. So, yeah, not the butthole.
Not the butthole.
Another one says, Nata, I freaked out when you said you share a bedroom with a male teenager and 2 men. Glad you got out of there and you have support. And it's a little bit judgmental.
That's a little bit judgmental.
I mean,
those are her brothers.
Those are her brothers. They love each other. And then Ropey responded with, I've shared a room and beds with them since I was 5. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Which is right.
That's, yeah, well, I mean, like, they're her brothers.
Yeah,
so
I'm glad
that's
you're-
not the part that I'm worried about, really.
Yeah, I'm glad you're comfortable with your brothers, but you need your own space as a response. You and Lily are both female and should be sharing a space. I'm so sorry that you have been disregarded by your family, and you're definitely Nata. I'm glad your mother got a wake-up call, and glad that you have people in your life who are taking care of you. And then OP responded with, it's not comfortable. They're kind of mean, but I thought it was normal. Okay, well, never mind
well,
then.
Never
mind. Never mind then. If they're mean
If
to
they're
you.
mean, then that's bad.
And that's bad. Yeah, okay. Never mind then. That's probably better that you're out there. So, yeah.
Probably better that you're with your friend's family.
With your male friend's family. And maybe it could be something more
No.
as the years go on. I'm rooting for you, friend. You will get out of the friend zone eventually.
Nathaniel,
What?
They could just have a nice brother-sister relationship.
Okay. So, okay, here's another one. AITA, for telling my mill, which I think means a mother-in-law, if she expects to get a DNA test for my son, then I want her to get a DNA test for my husband.
Okay, this sounds interesting.
That's a bit weird.
Okay. Where is this gonna go? Let's find out.
I, 30 female, met my husband, Steven, 32, at a friend who was cousin party. We instantly connected and started dating not long after. We have been happily married for 5 years. Now we have a 4-month-old son. I met my mill at his uncle's funeral. He asked me to attend in support of him. Before we left, his cousin warned me about Mill. He said she wasn't nicest person, and she had impossibly high standards to meet, and can be judgmental. So don't take it personally, as she's like that with everyone. I did ask my husband, and he agreed that Mill can be quite judgmental, but not to worry, that he will be there for me. I felt like they gave me the sugar-coated version of her because she was terrible. She made a scene about bringing a stranger to a family funeral, but my husband cut her off and said his aunt, who was his uncle's widow, said he could. He spent the rest of the funeral giving me nasty looks. She spent the rest of the funerals giving her nasty looks and making passive-aggressive comments. Wait, is she mad? Is she calling her daughter-in-law a stranger?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like she's never met the mother-in-law before, so I guess technically that would be true.
She made a scene at our wedding, but that's a different story on its own. But after minimal contact with Mill, my husband eventually got around to telling her that I was pregnant. I expected her to be angry and have a go at him, but she surprised us both and was the complete opposite. She was excited about being a grandmother. She was congratulating us. Her attitude did a complete turn, and I grudgingly allowed her to visit. When it was time to give birth to my son, she wanted to see my son being born, but I refused. That's when her ugly side reared its head again. But she caused a scene and was thrown out. I refused to let her visit us at home. My husband agreed, but she rang crying and apologizing. She said that she was just overwhelmed about being a grandmother and her emotions got the better of her. Against my better judgment, I relented and said, okay. When she first held him, she looked at me and said, he was beautiful. I went into the kitchen and got us a drink. Then I could hear my husband telling her to get out. I went back in. She started yelling he needed to get the baby tested because he doesn't like anyone in their family. He kicked her out. She took to social media.
No.
And told everyone that I cheated on my husband.
What?
And that my husband needs to get a DNA test to prove he was the dad. She got a lot of attention for that. So I made my own post and said I'll get a test when she gets a test for her son. That just made everything worse. She rang my husband up telling him to take it down. He just hung her up on her. Everyone divided and questioning my husband's paternity since she had such a strong reaction to it. Now, even my husband is starting to wonder and making me feel like I went too far, and I'm thanking AITA for saying that. Yeah, that's it.
Wow. This is loaded.
What do you think, Clarsona?
This one is interesting.
Why is it interesting?
Because, like, I don't know. It's all based off of whatever OP is telling us. Again, that's always how it is. I don't know if did she not. I mean, I don't know what the baby looks like, and I don't know what the husband looks like or what she looks like, but
yeah,
obviously this mother-in-law was already, a bit against her, so I could see her, spreading lies.
Yeah.
It's really sad, though, that the husband is now, questioning what is the word? Questioning the wife's, truthfulness?
I guess. I say she's not the butthole.
I don't think so.
I think she's not the butthole. She clapped back. She can't handle the clap back. Then don't be clapping.
That's right. Hey, I mean, it's really easy. Why not just do the paternity test, right? The mom.
Okay.
Take the maternity test. Take the paternity test. And then
I'm pretty sure we know that her mom. I'm pretty sure we know that she's
I was about
his
to say.
mom.
I was about to say. We
came
know
out
that
of
she's
her.
the mom.
Yes.
But hey.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to take a test, then why should I take the test?
Yep. And she shouldn't be saying such massive accusations.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
He doesn't look like.
He doesn't look like. Do you know how many babies at first don't look like their parents? Quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they also gave her a chance. They gave her a chance, and she blew the chance, and that's what you get.
And that's what you get.
That's what you get, and you go
You could have been a part of this baby's life, but then no. You mustn't
say lies. Now you have to write on a piece of paper that'll now etch into your arm, and it'll say I mustn't tell
Are
lies.
you talking about Harry Potter right now?
Harry Potter, yeah. She mustn't tell lies, Clara.
What in the world does this have to do with anything?
Because she's telling lies. She's telling lies and she mustn't tell lies.
Telling lies? No, Papa.
No, Papa. Okay, so this is the first response.
Yes.
Nata! She doesn't sound stable at all, and I would be worried about what she would do around the child, even if she was just another weirdly sensuous boy mom.
Okay.
That mood swing. Going from one extreme to another in a blink of an eye. Goes beyond butthole into dangerous territory. Also, her demanding to see the birth and immediately taking to social media also indicates she has no concept of boundaries. To have someone like that around your child, even if she doesn't do anything drastic, could be very damaging. Also, if she wants to make her delusions public, she could handle a public response.
Yep.
If you don't want a witch hunt, don't make a pyre. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I would enjoy this. Is another person. I would enjoy this. She would get gifts from me wrapped in a bow. Xmas, DNA home test. Birthday, DNA home test. Mother's Day, DNA home test. Heck, I might just send them to her from Amazon randomly as a pick-me-up for myself. Be a whirlwind. So basically, he's just being all like, "I'll just send her DNA test forever,"
Yeah.
and that'll learn him. Maybe not the nicest way to handle, but when you deal with this poop, your hands are bound to get dirty. Keep holding your ground and just tell her to stop spouting lies about you on Sim, or you will continue to embarrass her on your own account, and she can face the consequences of her own actions. So yeah, there it goes. So yeah, she better clean up her act.
Better clean up her
Better
act.
clean up her act.
She ain't gonna be in this baby's life.
I think she probably needs to get go to a doctor's, maybe get medicated. There's something probably going on mentally that needs to be addressed. So okay, here it is. Here's another one. AITA, for choosing to call my niece anything else but her chosen name.
Okay.
All right, so my 27 female husband, who's 33 male, are currently taking care of his recently orphaned niece, who's 8 female, with the plan to later adopt her.
Oh.
Her first name is Kelly, and middle name is Anne, which are fake names.
Mm-hmm.
But she prefers to be called Anne, and had been that way for a few years now. Mm-hmm. She introduces herself as, "My name is Kelly Ann blank, but you can call me Anne. My sister, 29, female, is 8 months pregnant with her first child, and several months ago I found out it's a girl. She always wanted to name her daughter Anne and is excitedly telling everyone. Upon learning of Kelly Ann's situation and how my husband and I plan to adopt her, my sister told me a few days ago that we should start telling Kelly Ann to call herself Kelly instead of her middle name. She said 2 Ann in the family will be confusing, so Kelly Ann needs to get used to being Kelly.
No.
My husband said she was being ridiculous, and if anything, it's her baby that needs renaming because Kelly Ann has been calling herself Ann for years. My sister argued that she has announced her baby's name many months ago, and we only plan to adopt Kelly Ann recently.
Mm-hmm.
So we would be the one making her rethink how to call herself. I joined my husband's side and told my sister Kelly Ann can call herself however she chooses to. My sister and her husband called my husband and me which I'm guessing means butthole, for stealing her baby's name. So AITA. Definitely not. You didn't steal anything. If anything, she's stealing your niece/adopted daughter's name. So yeah. Anne can still call herself Anne. That's her choice. A lot of people call themselves by their middle names. It's not that weird. Also, if she wants, also your sister can name her kid Anne if she really wants to. Who cares? It's just a name.
Yeah.
And if you can't if it's too confusing, you'll figure out a way. Call them Kelly 1 or Ann 1 or Ann 2 or something. You'll figure it out. Right, Clara? What do you think?
It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's just a name.
Mm-hmm. You can't don't get bit all blood and all out of shape. You stole my name. No, she's been calling her Anne. You can't just start calling her a different name now.
Start calling her a different.
You can't do a complete rebrand.
That's just what she calls herself. Like, dang.
You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna name my kid Steve.
It's gonna be
your
like
kid's name is Steve.
Your kid's name was Steve, but I've been planning to name my child Steve since I was born.
So change your
name.
Change your kid's
Change his name.
Change your kid's name. Oh, what's in a name? What's in a name? Oh, what's in a name? Remember that song from Lion King 1.5? So yeah, not the butthole, obviously. Okay, so here's one. Here's the first response. Nata. Kellyanne has an identity that she's forged herself with a preferred name. It doesn't matter that you decided to adopt her following her sister's name reveal. It would not be fair to disregard her preference for the sake of an unborn child. Mm-hmm. There's no rule stating that you can't be more than one Anne in the family. Mm-hmm. There could be your Anne and your sister's Anne with an E. Mm-hmm. You like that? Remember that show, Anne with an E?
Yeah, I remember Anne with an E. I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. Did you read the book?
No.
I didn't read the book either. It's Anne of the Green Gables is the book.
Oh.
I didn't read it.
I didn't even know that it was based off of Anne of Green Gables.
Of course, it's totally cool.
Anne of Green.
So no one stole anything. Kellyanne came up with her name that you already came up with her name to you already. She's not a puppy you took home from the shelter and renamed.
Yeah.
So yeah. Kellyanne has been calling herself Anne for years because it's literally her name.
Literally her name.
And the little girl is having to go through enough awful changes in her life, having recently become orphaned without losing her name. Your sister, with her yet unborn baby, can name her baby girl Anne too if she wants to. There can be more than one Anne in an extended family, or she can pick literally almost any other name. Your sister can go pound sand. But what your niece/daughter calls herself is not the business of your sister. Refuse to discuss it anymore. Nata.
Good. That's right.
Yeah. Another one is Nata. Your sister wants to force your newly orphaned niece to change her name? That's nuts. I hope it is pregnancy hormones and your sister isn't that heartless all the time. Big Nata. It's great that you and your husband are on the same page about looking out for Anne. So yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
I feel like we're spending too much time on not the buttholes.
Yes. Let's hear some ones that are definitively buttholes.
Okay, let's definitive butthole. Let's see. AITA for not standing up for the weird girl in my class.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. 1 second.
Dang, Nathaniel. Go a little faster, why don't you?
Let me see. Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Wee woo, wee woo. I thought you were
okay.
supposed to have everything figured out.
I am figured out.
Let's hear it then.
Dang it, is there an archive here? Should be an archive. Okay, here it is. Okay. There's a new girl in my class that I'll call Haley for some reason. Haley wrote, "I want to have sex" on her school notebook. Okay.
Huh?
She didn't show it to the class, but she teased my friend by covering her book with her forearm. He ended up snatching the book and seeing what she wrote. He was shocked, to say the least. Oh, my stars.
Oh, wow. Sex.
In the end, his mom and my mom convinced us to tell them what Haley had written. They weren't pleased with Haley, to say the least. Pretty sure my friend group expressed that displeasure and talked smack about Haley in our group chats. They were the few good church kids in my school, and I wanted to maintain a good social standing with them. Due to this, I didn't stand up for Haley amid the bad things that were said about her. My guy friend had a rather uptight mother, and so did I. To please my social circle, I was quite cold to Haley for some time. it was easy to do because she wasn't the easiest to get along with anyway. Once I once asked Haley to be my duet partner for the school talent show, and she agreed. However, my friends and my mom didn't approve of me doing the duet with her because they felt Haley had improved herself to be a godlier person. I told Haley that I couldn't do it because I didn't have time to practice with her. She didn't seem to believe and kept pressing for a real reason. Eventually, I told her the truth and revealed that some people in my group said bad things about her. Haley asked who they were, but I refused to tell her. I didn't want to make my friends look bad. Haley cried about it and didn't talk to me too much talk to us in church. Me and my group started trying to include Haley more in conversations to make her feel better. However, we kept our distance and never said anything when one of my friends insulted Haley to her or behind her. Haley was rather calm and collected in school and church, so what she did next shocked me. She called me and my friends to the church gym and started to confront us. She calmly but angrily asked if we had said anything about her. My friends all denied and asked her what she was talking about. After ranting about us being hypocrites and self-righteous people, she got angrier and asked who talked poop about her. These people tried to deny, but Haley saw through them. Eventually I spoke up and confessed that those were the people. The people called out began to criticize Haley for what she wrote, which caused her to snap and yell at them and call them holier than thou poops and conniving snakes. I stood up for those people and told Haley how they and I tried to include her. I admitted that we were being unfair, but told her not to hold it against us. She told me that we held her actions against her and would not let us off the hook. Haley turned to me and said, "Well, you're not just a butthole, you're a cowardly butthole as well." Am I though? What do you think?
Okay, so this is all in a religious context. Obviously.
Wait.
Oh, ooh.
Haley here.
Okay.
Responded.
Ooh. Oh, this is unprecedented.
But on the first level from this person's thing, they're obviously from like the Bible Belt, very conservative small town where everyone where church basically is a pillar of their community. And I can understand how their parents would be like, sex, not before marriage.
At first, I was confused as to why the parents were asking about what was written on the notebook anyways. But once she mentioned church, I was like, okay, so these are, extremely religious families who, the kids tell their parents everything. And the parents are like, oh, it could have been like Haley wrote something weird on her notebook today, but whatever. And the parents would be like, no. Tell me what she wrote on the notebook. Tell me now. And then they would have to be like, oh, she wrote that she wanted to have sex on the notebook. And then they would be like, what?
Yeah.
Before marriage?
She wrote sex because she needs to be a worldly person. And it kind of reminds me of that Simpson episode where they were like, I will tell the truth or else I'll be condemned by the fires of hell where I'll drink naught but burning hot cola and eat naught but burning hot coal or something like that.
Okay.
And my insides will be ripped and torn to shreds and confettied by a group of birds and single mothers or something like that. It kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, it's very. They're obviously very conservative. Also, she is a cowardly butthole for not standing up for this girl who's going through a hard time. And religious trauma is a very real thing, and it's really messing with her, obviously. And these people are definitely not. They're definitely not like how Christian like.
That's not. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Talking about someone behind their back and saying mean things about them
and thinking they're better than them,
and thinking that you are better than that person just because you're quote unquote holier. That's not a true Christian.
I think Haley told them how it is, and they couldn't handle the truth.
They couldn't handle it,
and
because the fact of the matter is that if this is like Catholicism, Christianity, like Jesus.
I think this is like Protestant. This is obviously Protestant, Southern Baptist.
Well, if you properly read the Bible, Jesus, he met with the sinners and he treated them as equals.
That is true. He did do that.
And and that's why they came to him, and they became good enough for whatever. I don't know. Yeah. They changed and became better people because he treated them like they were better people. When you see someone and you believe that they are inherently worse than you are simply because
you wrote sex on a notebook,
simply because they have human desires, that's wrong, and that's not true Christianity.
Yes, I don't think. Yeah. She's a girl who's having questions, exploring emotions and new feelings, like she's saying. And instead of explaining it to her, they're just like, shun, which is, I'm not.
And
I'm
this
not
is
surprised.
why teen pregnancy happens.
Okay. So, Haley comes in. Enter
Yes.
Haley.
Enter Haley into the Reddit post.
Okay. AITA, obviously. Mochi. I'm guessing that's her name. Her name is Mochi. Hopefully that's a fake name.
Yeah.
Mochi. You and your friends parents are 100% in the wrong here. Your group has allowed boys to get away with publicly making sexual and inappropriate jokes, but decided to judge me for a notebook comment. That ain't holiness. That's blatant hypocrisy. Your mom seems awfully exclusionary and seems to care more about how she appears in her church friends than how she's being towards others. I can definitely see that. The most she and most in your circle can get towards being kind to unpopular people is being fake to their face. Your friends are so self-righteous and talk smack about people who don't behave in any way you guys find acceptable. Y'all talked mad poop about a teen boy in our school for listening to rap music and using incognito mode. Okay. This holier-than-thou hypocrisy needs to end. I am sick and tired of your friends and their judgmental, cliquish, and two-faced behavior. So disappointed in you. The parents and your friends. You guys are the reason I left your church. By the way, I snapped because you and your friends kept dodging questions and lying. You just got owned. I think you got burned.
Absolutely.
Oh, and then she responded, and this is what she responded.
Okay.
My friends and their mom didn't handle it the best, but you seemed like you just wanted to attack us. Your yelling made us low-key frightened.
Your yelling made us low-key frightened.
Minus negative 1,000 downvotes.
Yeah.
2,000 downvotes around there. And then another person responded with, oh, grow a pair, kid. Yeah, grow a pair.
Well, see, because here's the thing. They're kids.
I don't know. Like,
they go based off of how they were raised.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, the parents have taught them that their behavior is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not. I don't know how old. How old are they? Did they say 17?
They have to be, like, middle school.
Middle school? I think that this sort of stuff can go into high school, especially if it's, like, a smaller community.
Yeah, this reads like a middle school, but Haley here is definitely telling them straight up how it is, though.
Absolutely.
She is, like, straight up telling it to them straight. She is not being around the bush.
Super conservative, religious, like, don't even mention sex. Like, that is just not the way to go about it.
Like rap is the devil's music.
Yeah, rap is the devil's music. And why are you using incognito mode?
What are you trying to hide?
What are you trying to hide? Blah, 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 whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all such nonsense.
And this and Mochi here, OP, being all like, you're yelling me to try. Oh, shut up. You just can't handle the truth. And then, okay, another person said, AITA, definitely you're trying to wiggle out of responsibility of your entire church circle being self-righteous and cruel. Love thy neighbor. Be kind to one another. Question mark.
I'm not doing any of
quotes from the
that.
Bible. And then she responded with, me and my friends tried to include Haley by talking to her more and not being too cold. We didn't treat her like a bestie, and it seems like she understood that. Negative 1,000 downvotes. 1,000 downvotes. It's basically like, it sounds like you're kind of like playing with her emotions a little bit.
This is just a teenager.
You're like, we tried to be friends with her, but we didn't want to get too close because she's kind of gross and stuff.
We didn't want to get too close because we didn't want her to get the wrong idea.
I didn't want the wrong idea
because we're not friends with her.
But we wanted to include her more.
We wanted to include her more because we knew that she was being like sad about it or whatever.
Just kind of, yeah. And then it responded with, however, we kept our distance. Okay, she's basically quoting her. We kept our distance, and I never said anything when one of my friends insulted Haley to her or behind her. And then she responded with, this poster responded with, your attempts were just to be able to say you tried, and it wasn't honest or committed attempt. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. And then another person says, according to your own purse, you're lying. Yeah. And then another person said, no bully like a good Christian bully. AITA.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. There's this old adage is there's no hate like Christian love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
which there is a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
And then another person said, I admitted that we are being unfair, but told her not to hold it against us. That's the quote. Holy crud, AITA. I'd call you and your friends a lot worse than holier than thou poops and conniving snakes. Also, doing anything to maintain a good social standing with anyone is just lame. Grow up. And then OP responded with, I don't remember everything Haley called us, but her words for us were not very kind and they made us feel hurt and offended. Oh, boo-hoo. One guy in my friend group even expressed his hurt to Haley. You
hurt his little feelings.
You hurt your feelings. Maybe I think you hurt her feelings first. You can't handle it.
Okay.
You can't dish it out, but you can't handle it.
Okay. I would like to remind you that these are still children. They're not going to handle this like adults.
Fine.
Yes. We must show just a smidgen of what's the word? I don't know the word.
Fine. You can't dish it out if you can't take it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But we are adults listening and viewing and hearing about a situation between children.
Yeah. And
I think that people are being a little bit harsh. But I can understand why. I assume a lot of these people come from places that they too got, bullied by a girl like her.
Yeah. I think also, if you want to go out into Reddit, if you want to play with the big boys, you gotta have to. You're gonna have to.
You gotta know what you're gonna get into.
Yeah. So another person responds with, well, maybe you shouldn't have been judging her for a gasp. Being a teenager who has hormones? Oh, the horror. Exactly.
Yep. I assume that these kids are probably just a bit brainwashed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's another thing OP said.
Another thing.
What worse things could you say? Haley was quite harsh in her criticism. She also called us sons of bees, and our mothers were pigs in lipstick. And then another person responded with, I love Haley even more now. Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah, sounds like girl knows how to dish it out.
Yeah. And then she said, Tell that girl we love her and we need her input on this post. And then OP responds with, I'll listen to you guys for once. I'll send this post to Haley. Indica if she has read it or not, though. And then Haley put in her 2 cents. And she's definitely not forgiving them anytime soon.
Yep. Nor should she.
Yeah. Another person said, I still don't get why Haley got into trouble for writing out a very common teenage sentiment. Wanting sex is normal. It's human and it's what your hormones tell you to want. You know what's not okay? Bullying. And then OP said, she wrote it at the wrong place at the wrong time. Also, she teased my friend and held the book up to his face. Bad timing and inappropriate humor. You know what? Why don't you... Okay.
Okay.
Oh, she wrote it at the wrong time. Wrong place.
Wrong time, wrong place.
She shouldn't be doing that in my neighborhood.
I mean, like... I don't know. Was she doing it just to provoke a reaction? If so, that's a teenager move.
Yeah. And then another person responded with, the fact that you're still trying to defend you and your friend's actions, why do you even post in AITA if you don't want to hear our opinions? And then he responded with, I am hearing everyone's opinions, while reading them to be more accurate. I agree that my friend's standards were unfair and they went a bit far, but we are a group of teens trying to be pure people. Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's just the religion talking.
Grow up, OP. You're a religious zealot, which definitely does come across that way.
Like that.
And then another person responded with, have you ever considered that purity means and why it matters? No person on the face of the planet is pure or has 100% pure thoughts. Purity culture pretty much always hurts more than people than it helps. Which, yeah, definitely.
That's true. That's true.
And then a person says, Ita for snatching her book, not your book. And then another person, and then she wrote, my friend did that, not me. -75 downvotes. Okay, and then she keeps on trying to defend herself on and on and on. You're really not helping yourself here. So, yeah, that's it. I say you're definitely the butthole. You're a bullyhead. Let this be a lesson. The Bible has a thing or two to say about bullying and talking smack behind people's backs. I'm pretty sure Jesus would not approve.
Nope.
So, yeah, take that to the bank. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Okay.
Okay.
Again.
What?
These are just children.
They need to learn.
They do need to learn. But that doesn't mean that we have to insult them. We can be the bigger people here.
Okay.
We can be the adults because we are adults.
Okay. Here's another one.
Yep, I'm listening.
I, male 35, found a great girl, female 28, so there's a little bit of an age gap here.
Okay.
Not too much,
Not
it's
too
like
much.
within 10 years, whose child is a spoiled brat.
Oh boy, here we go.
So, to give a little background, I've been dating this woman for about 3 months. She's everything I like, really pretty, supportive, easy to talk to, not really high maintenance, good sex. Hey, really, dude?
Oh,
Come on, put it up there, brother.
Okay.
Put it up there, brother.
No, we can put your hand down right now.
Okay. The type to text me in the morning to make me breakfast before work, since I work so much. She'll even take care of errands for me while I'm at work, like laundry and stuff. She's a complete sweetheart. The problem is, she has a 4-year-old who, quite frankly, is a spoiled poss.
He's a 4-year-old.
Okay.
He's 4.
Early in the relationship, I didn't have to deal with or see her kid at all. I have 2 jobs and I'm running a small business. So I'd really like to be with her before work or between jobs, given how sour the dating pool is right now. I felt like I really found a diamond in the rough. But last week, I had to have a knee injury, and I've been pretty much bedridden. I have to wait 2 weeks from the surgery date to remove my knee brace, and she's been here almost every day helping me through the process. But she's had to bring her daughter, and her daughter is really the spawn of Satan. No manners whatsoever, basically won't listen unless threatened by her mother, and she only really does so when she really peeves her off. And it takes a lot to peeve her off. Literally 30 minutes ago, her daughter woke up from a nap, ran to sit on her mother's lap, and just farted all over her, loud as heck with no consequences. I bought her pizza and she refused. Literally refused to say thank you. And I feel like she enables this behavior, and it's never may I please have, it's always I want. Yesterday, she cooked dinner for all three of us. She finished it and demanded cake. Her mother's birthday recently, so we still have cake. She got the cake and finished it and then came back and demanded chips. I bought myself a snack box. She obviously said no. Then I made a small bet with her. A quarter for every time she comes back out asking for chips again. She came out every 10 minutes and she owes me $3. And when her mom went to the store, her daughter started running around and I told her to calm down. She started staring me down like, "Tough you gonna do?" I was like, "So you don't like me?" And she said, "No." So I made her go in the room, having to threaten to tell her mom. And when her mom tells her no, it's always pouting and foot stomping and asking for chips every 10 minutes. And she's so drained from having to deal with her, but wants more kids. And now she's drawn all over my bedroom floor with crayon. And she's not going to make her clean it up. She's going to do it, which I don't approve at all. She made the mess. She should clean it up. I'm too old to have beef with a toddler. I like the mom a lot, but I can't help but wonder if the bad kid is enough of a deal breaker for me to call it quits, because truthfully, I don't like her either. So what do you think?
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a 4-year-old child. I don't know how disciplined most 4-year-olds are. It does sound like she probably needs a bit more discipline. Probably needs to be taught how to handle being told no better.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like if the daughter really is going to be a problem for him, then he definitely needs to break it off.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to waste the mom's time like that.
Yeah. I think this is less about his girlfriend's mothering of the child,
Mm-hmm.
and more about his relationship with the child.
Currently, it's not great.
I say, if you're gonna try to have beef with a 4-year-old kid, I think you have better things to do than to do that, than be upset about a 4-year-old who acts like a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
So I say, also the way that you talk about your
doing right now.
I'm taking out this battery.
Why are you doing that while we're recording? It's gonna be all up in the stuff.
Yeah, okay. So I would say also the way he talks about his wife makes me think that views her. I mean, not wife, his girlfriend makes me think he views her more like a maid that he pays.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because he's like, oh, she does errands for me, she cooks for me, she cleans for me.
That sounds like he's appreciating the things that she's doing for him. A lot of people will just assume that a woman will do that for you.
Okay.
But the way he says it, it sounds like he's like appreciative of the fact that she's doing all of these things.
Mm-hmm. I say my relationship advice is, if being with this toddler you really dislike this toddler so much, then I say find someone else.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a kid.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's my advice.
Point blank.
That's my advice. You are a butthole, though, for being kind of a jerk to the kid.
Yeah, she's a toddler.
Okay. So the first one is, mate. So this is like a British guy. Mate, you're having a lot of fun with crying emojis about all the comments telling you to bow out. But you're the one who posted in here looking for relation advice, yeah?
What is that voice?
That's a British voice. That's how he
terrible.
talks. It's good.
Oi, listen up, mate. I think that you need to break it off with this chick.
With this bed.
I think that you and this lady, terrible match.
Okay. And then another person wrote with, I found a great bang maid, but I hate her kid. OP.
That's funny.
Okay. And another person wrote, "Good Lord, reading your responses to comment, yeah, break up with her because realistically you're not mature enough, and for the love of gosh, please don't breed." Has he been like responding to people?
Has he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, he looks like he has been responding.
What's he saying?
Okay.
What are the things that he's saying?
So this is the one that he said about you don't like the child, you don't seem the British guy. You don't seem to see your girlfriend as particularly important as a personality. You aren't doing them any favors by stringing them along. They are a package deal. I'm certain she will find someone better suited. Okay, yeah. So this person responded with, "I'm laughing at the level of unproductive suggestions and assumptions people are saying. I'm a terrible person for pointing out how much she's helping me out with stuff while I'm working and disabled because I don't sit here and list the full dynamic of our relationship. They take it as she's my, how did someone put it, my bang maid, right? So I'm having fun with it at this point."
Okay.
Okay, dude, grow up. Okay, and then the person with, okay, this is the one he said about the bang maid one.
Okay.
But I hit her kid, OP, and then he responds with, "Good one, dude." Nice, dude. Negative 196 downvotes.
Yeah.
Good Lord, your responses to this comment. And then he responded with, "Reddit, you're not mature enough to raise kids, please don't breed." Also Reddit, it's normal for kids to sit on their moms and fart as hard as they can. You're not a real man. I'm starting to see why things are how they are. I mean,
honestly,
she's a kid,
at this point, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Why?
I don't know. I think that, honestly, I think a lot of people are taking it the wrong way.
Why?
Because they're focusing on, like, sure, he shouldn't have said that she was a quote-unquote great lay. That's, like, a weird thing to say.
A great what?
Great lay, like good sex.
Is that what you said? Oh.
He said that it was great
that's right.
sex.
Great sex, dude.
Like, put your hand down.
Okay.
I don't think that was a necessary thing to mention.
Okay.
I think that does twist some things. But honestly, he just needs to break it off.
Also another thing.
What?
He's been dating her for 3 months.
3 months?
It's really not his position
Nope.
to comment on her parenting skills and also trying to discipline the kid himself.
Yeah. This is a it's like one person said, it's a package deal. If you are with the mom, you're with the daughter, and you either love the mom, learn to love the daughter, figure out a dynamic with the daughter, get a relationship with her, help her improve on her behavior, or you don't love the mom enough and you break it up.
Okay. And then this other person said, "It's so strange that you think you're entitled to a level of respect her mother doesn't expect. They seem to have a playful mother-daughter relationship. That's not bad. She's just not an authoritarian parent. You aren't this child's parent, and if she ever finds out you spoke about her child like this, you never will be. Try it out, show her this post, and see how she feels." And then OP responds with, "Nope, that's not good enough."
What?
"She's not an authoritarian parent is weak. That's weak sauce." That's not an excuse for a child to feel comfortable acting like that. Because what does that behavior translate into down the line? When nobody can tell that child anything, who knows what that could lead to? Normalizing that brand of behavior without consequences is a recipe for disaster. My girl is the sweetest person I've ever met, and seeing her break down and cry for not being able to deal with it breaks my heart. And I'm not going to let any of you make it seem like this should be acceptable.
Then help her.
Okay. It all starts with respect for her mother first and adults in general. Manners are the bare minimum. And it's not my child? Fine, so I can't discipline the child? which I never intended to do in the first place, but I will not allow her to speak to her mother like that while she's around me either. And you know what pees me off? All the BS, that's normal comments here. Where I come from, we were raised with boundaries and consequences.
I don't.
In my house, none of that behavior could or fly, especially if it makes my woman cry.
Sorry, it's just so disconnected.
Again, it's really funny how he's like giving like, you're making my girlfriend uncomfortable to like this 4-year-old girl.
Just imagine you just sit down, be like, hey, listen, you're making my woman break down and cry, and I will not have that because she's my girl. And it's just the 4-year-old daughter.
It's just a 4-year-old
being like,
girl.
huh?
Oh, I farted.
I'm 4.
They're giving like he's like some drunk guy at a bar, and he's all like talking to her like that, as if like, hey, you're making my girl uncomfortable, 4-year-old child.
Who is my girl's daughter?
Okay, and then another person responded, the same person responded with, okay, having said all that, show your girlfriend this post and see how quickly she leaves you. A single parent needs a supportive partner, not one that questions her parenting style for a child to strangers. Children make their mothers cry. It happens. Her partner thinking she can an effective parent will rip her apart. A child can't understand long-term consequences. You can, and if she ever finds out this post, you're facing a huge one, which I agree. Another person responds with, okay, let me say it slowly for you. The child is 4. At that stage, you're still teaching them how to talk and getting through the why, and I want phases. It's supposed to be a negotiation. Her saying, I want chips repeatedly is exactly par for the course. Her farting on her mom's lap is 100% what 4-year-olds do. You're expecting behaviors and conversations and reasonings that don't develop until around 10 years old. It is completely unreasonable. Something is missing from your story. I won't allow her to talk to her mother like that. What was that part? What did she say that, and what was the context? Are you mad she didn't say please, or did the kid go on a hateful rant, which is also what kids do? Raising kids is stressful, and parents do in fact cry a lot. It's not all sunshine and roses. Yeah, this guy's kind of a butthole. Okay. I say, major butthole, you're a judgmental butt, and you're trying to pick a fight with a 4-year-old.
I'd say definitely a butthole who doesn't understand raising children.
And he doesn't understand parenting. It's obvious you never had a child before, and you're trying to get into a peeing match with a 4-year-old, and you're trying to compete for
the attention
of his mom, and doesn't know how raising a kid works. And he's all like, you're making my girl cry, dude. You're making my girl cry, 4-year-old child. And I will not tolerate it. Meet me in the parking lot.
Meet me in the Denny's parking lot, 4-year-old girl.
Meet me in the Denny's parking lot, 4-year-old girl. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's the last of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good healthy balance of buttholes and not the buttholes.
Perfect.
Who do you think was the biggest butthole?
Definitely. I'd say the mom who sold all of her daughter's presents to get stuff for herself.
Yeah, but she was not really the person we were judging. We were judging the daughter at that point.
Oh, I still think that it was the mom.
In terms of people who actually wanted to judge,
fine.
I
would say the guy who is upset at a 4-year-old being a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I would say that too. I was gonna say the overly religious teenagers who like to inflict religious trauma, but then I realized that they're just teenagers and they're a product of the environment.
That's right.
And so hopefully they will learn once they go to college and
expand their viewpoints.
They expand their viewpoints. So yeah, that's it for today. I've been Nathaniel Avila.
And I have been Clara Avila.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of wacky talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.